I've taken this King of Bachata title very personal. It's a huge responsibility for me because I was very de descarado, de cojones, de decir, okay, we're the kings of bachata, Aventura, and now I'm the king of bachata. You know, you can say whatever you want to say. It's okay as long as you can back it up. We named this the castle for obvious reasons. The magic starts here, you know, producing. This is sacred to me. I wanted to create a space that felt special. And yo llamo esto como mi santuario. I could come in stressed, happy, lonely, but something always magical comes out. I don't do well with deadlines. That's when I've gotten writer's block. When like, okay, you have to turn this in by this, and that's when I kind of get, okay, a little shaky. I want to make sure that all my albums tengan un peso. You could tell there was some production, you know, there was really work put in. That's why it takes so long to record these albums. And it's a very intense process that I don't realize it till after the fact. Like, wow, you know, get old in this motherfucker. This is the vocal room. Though I have to say, sometimes la musa me da de cantar aquí afuera. I have sang a lot of, you know, my records inside the booth, but it's about the energy. Like sometimes like the musicians are out here and I'm just like in my zone. You see these speakers? These speakers are like very special. Para mí, la bachata, I need those speakers.
Formula Volume 3. It's your first formula, Romeo, in 8 years. Like,
so long.
You know, time flies, right? And it's coming out September 1st.
Yeah.
Why is this an important date?
My oldest boy, firstborn.
It's his birthday?
Sí. And se fue shaping for it to be released in his birthday, which I don't want to get religious on you, but I've always said God works in mysterious ways, and there's been a lot of delays with the album due to, you know, personal matters. And I wanted to choose something important or meaningful. It just worked out perfect.
You had Formula Volume 1, then you had Volume 2 in 2014, then you did Golden, then you did Utopia, and now you're back to Formula, and I'm sure everybody wants to know, okay, so what's the difference between Golden, Utopia, and one of the Formula albums?
Golden is an amazing album, which I'm very proud of, but it just wasn't Formula Volume 3. And what I mean by that is that there's certain elements that my albums need for it to be considered Formula. Formula volumes are like, yo, I have to do certain things that I have to push the envelope. Oh, no one's ever done that. Like putting Usher to sing bachata. Juntando leyendas como Anthony Santos, Luis Vargas, Raulín in the same song. And then following Formula Volume 2 with Drake singing bachata.
And Formula Volume 3, who is gonna come and sing bachata?
I mean, are we revealing this?
Yes, we are revealing this.
So I have JT, Justin Timberlake, singing bachata. I've been wanting to collaborate with JT for years. You know, my first cover, Gone, by NSYNC, in Aventura's album, I rewrote it. I translated it to Spanish. I may have fucked it up, but this was like history in the making without me even realizing it. JT is legendary. What I respect about JT is that it wasn't like, okay, he was gonna just go record his vocals and bye. This guy turned that song that now I realize was probably at a 30%.
Wow.
Into
coming from you,
something completely different for the better. Cambió melodías, letra, you know, he wrote, he produced, and for me that was like surreal. I was like, I can't believe that JT is producing a bachata.
So this is where you write, Romeo. Do you write the lyrics first and then go to someone for the music, or do you guys sit together?
No, I record the melody. It's how I probably have written 95% of my material. Back in the days, I used to walk around with like una grabadora.
A little cassette tape.
And I could be in the middle of a conversation and for some reason I get una musa, una melodía, and I run to the bathroom and record. So then the phones, I started recording voice notes. I'll be mumbling like, I get an inspiration. And then like maybe when I get to the hook, I'll say something that I end up using, like Si te invito a hacer mis besos, and I'm making things up that really make no sense that I end up not using. And I believe in keeping the syllables, and I'll try to like find a word that sounds close to what I said when I was mumbling.
The melody before the words.
In most cases, I would say, yeah.
Huh, that's fascinating. Someone told me you run 14 miles. 14
miles, but I go at a nice pace. I'm not like a sprint runner or not like that. I'm being completely honest, I run because I love to eat. You haven't met someone that eats more than me. Let me tell you something. Prior to me began running, my manager at the time, he hits me up. Shout out to Johnny Marines, and he's like, yo bro, you're looking kind of thick. And I thought that was slang for something like, yo, like you killing it on stage. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? He goes, dude, you gained some weight. I wasn't getting that from anyone else. He tells me, bro, you know, I think you gotta tone it down a bit. So that's when I just had a drastic change in my life, you know. And I got a nutritionist, and I started running with Cedric. I just got focused, and it's probably una de las mejores decisiones de mi vida.
Now, you and Cedric are friends since you were kids, right?
Over 20 years.
I think it's like 23.
I don't know anybody that works harder than him. I love the artist. As a friend, he's way better. It's just because it's just so genuine, such a giving person.
He does so much for us, and anything that I need, if I'm seeking advice or whatever, I'll go to him for it.
He knows how to set the mood and just make you feel comfortable and just put a smile on your face.
This is Gordo, and this is Stella. All the kids. They're both sweet, but she's a little spicy. He socializes with anyone. She's more like, she don't fuck with everyone.
You seem like so sure of yourself always. You're el rey de la bachata. You go to a stadium, which is hard. You know, you're talking about selling 50,000 tickets. Are you ever, a veces dudas de ti? Like, what scares you?
Of course. I think we all possess insecurities. I must say that, you know, I'm never insecure with my music, you know, and I'm never insecure while I'm on stage. It doesn't mean that I am overconfident. That's, you know, tampoco, you know. There's always that porcentaje de nervios, de ansiedad, prior to, you know, doing a show. I interpret that as respect for the fans and respect for what I do. But I recall me starting in this music industry and being extremely shy, so I battled with that. And this is where I create this Romeo Santos character that in some ways, it's not too far from Anthony, but in some ways, in other ways, very different.
Romeo and Anthony are two different individuals completely.
Romeo's the performer, the artist, and Anthony's just my brother. You know what's crazy is that I don't really know Romeo like that. Sometimes I forget he's famous.
We don't see Romeo at all. He's a complete other person.
Anthony, when he first started doing like festivals, he would sing and he would look down to the ground because he was shy.
So Anthony is not the guy who gets on stage and pulls girls from the audience, and that's
I'll tell
not
you
Anthony?
this, listen, I'll tell you this. Some consider me a heartthrob, a sex symbol, which to me is really funny because I don't consider myself that. In my high school days, I would never go up to a girl and like kick a line like, hey, what's up, ma? Like something like that. It's not me. This Romeo character is not like that. He's not shy. He's very confident. So I created an alter ego because in other ways I am insecure. I'm not as confident. But on stage, and when it comes to my music, I think I'm the greatest. This right here used to be a restaurant. It was the first restaurant that I performed. This is my first gig as Aventura, and I remember that they paid us with food. Wow, this changed so much. I'm not sure if it's the C-Town or donde dice PPH. That was a restaurant called El Internacional. That's my elementary school. And that last window right there, I don't know if you can see it from here, that's where my mother lives. So this is the part that la primera noviecita, los primeros juegos de soccer. You know, to be honest